Welcome to Becoming Saiyans.
A Dragon Ball rewatch podcast.
And we're back. I'm Truman.
And I'm Jesse.
And this is Becoming Saiyans, a Dragon Ball rewatch podcast. On today's episode, we watched episodes 69 and 70, titled Who is Fortuneteller Baba? And we are the Five Warriors. Jumping into some trivia and some differences from the manga. In the first episode, when the gang stops to get Goku new clothes, they also have to refuel the plane. That was never mentioned in the manga. And also the above-mentioned scene where he discovers his turtle G is wrecked is altered in the manga. Here he discovers they are ripped, while in the manga he finds out while they're still flying to Babas. The name of the Tailor Ford, is only revealed in the anime. And the group does not encounter a sandstorm in the manga. They arrive at the palace without incident. The trivia is... Yamcha's suggestion that the Dragon Radar is junk is in the English dub only, and the manga and the Japanese dub of the anime, he crudely remarks that possibly eating Dragon Ball will be pooped out, which is kind of gross. But yeah. It was a thought I had as well.
I think anyone who watches this episode is above the age of 10 probably thinks it.
And then Krillin then questions if the Dragon Ball would still be usable after being pooped out. Puar trying to explain the corn joke he made last episode was something the dub made up. In the Japanese version, Goku was whining about wasting time in town, while Puar was trying to explain why they have to do that. Goku replies that he prefers flying Nimbus to the plane. He also doesn't mention ice cream in the original version. In the Funimation dub's production order, this marks the debut of Linda Young voicing Fortuneteller Baba, replacing Duncan Brannon from the Majin Buu saga. Apparently, they had, when Baba shows up in a different spot, way later down, they had a different character, but Funimation recorded this after that, which is weird to think. Yeah. That, because, not to spoil it, but Majin Buu's the last saga of the Dragon Ball Z. So it's literally, midway through Dragon Ball, they're recording that after the OG Dragon Ball.
Yeah, I guess it kind of comes down to, release schedule on Funimation, but that is weird.
True. Yeah, it is weird that they would record this after that.
Well, that's not just that, but also just, if they're recording it and they're releasing it first, that they released all of Dragon Ball Z first, and then recorded, maybe we should do Dragon Ball.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess that I don't know the whole stuff on that, but that would kind of make sense, because Dragon Ball Z was way more popular over here than Dragon Ball was.
Yeah, at least, especially in the beginning, but that's also probably because maybe it was the first thing that everyone saw over here.
Yeah. I also forgot to mention the dates when this stuff was released. In Japan, the first episode 69 was released July 8th, 87, and November 14th in America of 2002. Then We Are the Five Warriors, it was July 15th, 87, and November 15th, 2002. So kind of weekly in Japan, and then daily for America. Yep, and then jumping into differences from the manga and the We Five Warriors, or We Are the Five Warriors, Fangs performs his Y Crew dance twice more before he fights Krillin seriously. That doesn't happen in the manga. During the fight, when Fangs changes to bat form, Krillin tries to strike him a few times. Not in the manga. Dragon Team discussing who will fight Fangs next is elaborated on slightly in the anime. The scene at Kame House where Master Roshi tells Bulma, Launch, and Oolong about the Fortuneteller Baba is exclusive to the anime. Appa breathes garlic on Fangs only once in the manga, where he does it at least 7 times while Fangs tries to run around. The English words Jesus Christ and Oh God appearing when Fangs sees Appa impersonating a cross doesn't appear in the manga. Which kind of makes sense. Why would they have this Christian religious thing in this Japanese show? But then Goku telling Appa that he's stronger than Krillin doesn't happen in the manga. Appa noticing see-through's movements isn't in the manga. And as Goku flies away to get Roshi and Bulma, he wonders to himself how they'll help Yamcha win, and that's not in the manga.
Yeah.
As far as trivia, there's only one trivia for this episode. In the Toonami broadcast, during Fang's breakdown at the site of Appa's cross, the words Jesus Christ and Oh God were removed. So the only way you can hear it is the version we saw, because it wasn't on TV originally and it wasn't in Japan. So it was only in the English dub that we got to hear on our side.
Yeah.
So
it was great fun.
So anyways, Jesse, previously on Dragon Ball, they all had, the whole gang hangs back to Master Roshi's house so that we can get Bulma working on the Dragon Radar, where she comes to find out it is working fine outside of the fact it can't find the seventh one. They kind of just decide that maybe it's inside of an animal somewhere because could maybe it mess up the magic or whatever through being inside of an animal.
It's a radar, and it has to be able to bounce off the frequencies.
A radar has to be able to read things, and maybe the magic that the Dragon Ball gives off can't be read through animals, I guess. And so
we think about what a radar is.
Yeah,
we'll get to that later.
But yeah, we'll get there. So they decide, well, this is hopeless. I guess we're just gonna have to wait around. And then Master Roshi comes out and says, well, we do have Fortuneteller Baba we could go see. And so he sends all the boys plus Puar, because I don't know if Puar's a boy or a girl, off to go find.
I assume Puar is a woman.
It kind of seems like it, but we don't know that. It feels
insinuated by a few of the things that sometimes happen around her.
So I
refer to her as her.
We send the boys plus Puar off to go fight Fortuneteller Baba, basically, or go retrieve Fortuneteller Baba, get their fortune read, whatever. They have to
her services.
They have to stop to get gas in the car or in the plane, and we find out Goku's outfit is ripped, so he has to get a new one. And while they wait for that to happen, Goku decides he should go get Upa, so Upa's not alone. So then Upa joins in, and they all fly through a storm, like a maelstrom almost, it looked like, to Fortuneteller Baba's village or gate or palace, whatever you want to call it, where they find out that it's going to be pretty expensive to recruit Fortuneteller Baba's help unless they decide they're going to instead fight her 5 warriors, which our boys are down to do. The first one is a vampire named Fangs, who immediately pops Krillin's head open like a mushy grape, and Krillin's out. But then Upa and Puar tag team to beat Fangs, and where we leave off is Yamcha getting his butt kicked by the Invisible Man while Goku flies back to get Roshi and Bulma. And that's what you missed on Dragon Ball. Jesse, go for it.
I'm going to start with, I think, a funny reference that I've kind of put together since, like, settling on it. So we got the vampire, and we have the Invisible Man. Mm-hmm. We are going through the original Universal Pictures monsters. That's my guess. So we're gonna get Wolfman, like a Frankenstein zombie, and I forget blank on what the
Black Lagoon.
Yeah, the creature of the Black Lagoon, probably.
Okay,
that would be my guess. That's an early prediction.
That's a fun one.
But I just put that together because I love the Universal monster films. They're 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 like a nice calming cheesiness to them because they're so old, 30s and 40s.
Yeah, and I like those. I like that idea.
It just seems like that. You know?
Yeah, and it would make sense for us to be dealing with a weird fortune teller lady and her having control or advantage over these,
or just like acquainted with these creatures.
She's working together with these ancient beasts. And we know that this world is similar to ours, though 100 years in the future.
And again, the Universal monster features, like monster films, came out 40 years before you even probably thought about writing this.
Yeah, so it's possible that could be coming along. What are your thoughts on the episode, though?
They're pretty good episodes. Yeah. I will put it in the caveat. I did snooze off at the end of the last one. But
we did kind of have a heavy dinner together,
in our defense, I was laying back if we just finished a nice roast dinner. So now that I'm up and moving around, I'm awake again.
Yeah.
But I only dozed off for the last minute where he was fighting.
Where Yamcha was fighting the Invisible Man.
Yeah, and I was still listening to it. I wasn't fully asleep.
Yeah.
But I will caveat this that I was kind of drowsy towards the end.
Yeah. One thing I wrote down, my first note was about the lore drop on the Dragon Balls. And I understand how radars work, but with these being magical items, you would think that wouldn't affect the radar itself. Same in how the radar is technology that can detect magic. That even if it's inside of an animal, you would think it would still work. But for some reason, the way they said it was the skin of the animal distorts the magical properties of the Dragon Ball, which I thought was a cool way of explaining it. Yeah. It does feel like we have to go, not waste time, but we have to go deal with other stuff. We can't just have Goku go pick up the Dragon Ball randomly on
we gotta milk a couple more episodes out of trying to find this last ball.
Yeah, we have to extend this a bit.
We gotta go meet a fortune teller.
Yeah, we gotta go show off another part of this world. We gotta go to Cowboy Desert Town again and find another part of this world.
Yeah, I mean, again, because for me, I interpret it more as like in an actual sense of like the radar has to bounce off the magical energy, and of course, it being inside of something fleshy doesn't allow it to happen or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, or an organic material.
Yeah.
Because everywhere we found Dragon Balls before this was, like, in caves.
Yeah.
Or if it was near an organic material, it was, like, in a nest above ground. Like, it could theoretically be the first... Of course, you don't have the answer for probably a couple more episodes of where it's actually at. But it doesn't make sense if it was swallowed by something, especially a large enough creature.
Yeah, one of those like giant fish or whatever.
Yeah. Then you'd have probably enough to block it off.
Yeah, and I get that. For me, I thought the way they explained it was cool. That it was literally just that like being inside of like flesh makes the magic properties not able to be sensed by the radar was the way they explained it.
Yeah.
Which I thought was cool.
A cool addition to the lore.
Yeah. What do you think about Roshi lying to the boys? Like he just sends them off like Fortuneteller Baba's cool. Just go hang out with her. She'll tell you your fortune. Then like after they leave, like they're in trouble.
Well, I think it's more just like he was just telling them that, and he like being an old man. He's like, I might have forgotten some things. They'll be fine because he's like, they'll be fine. They can handle themselves. They're strong, independent men.
Yeah. Do you think there's more to what he knows about Fortuneteller Baba than what he's already kind of hinted at to Bulma and Oolong?
I mean, the fact that he's like says he goes to her all the time when he like forgets stuff.
Yeah.
He probably knows more about like he probably knows who she is deep down as a person.
Yeah, that's
true. They probably have like coffee while she's like, yeah, the remote's in the couch cushion again. Yeah.
I lost my remote. How am I supposed to watch my dirty movies? Here's 10 trillion Zinni. Tell me where my remote is. You know, you could have just bought another remote with that money. I don't care. I want that one.
I can't seem to find my razor. You flush it down the toilet, man. Come on.
Let's just go to the store. Oh, here's my... there's Fangs again. Let me just fight him real quick. Do you think Roshi, when going to visit, do you think he fights the warriors or pays the fee?
I think... I deep down, like, if he uses her as many times as he says he has, at least he alludes to doing...
Yeah.
When he sends them off. My guess would have to be that, like, he's got enough of a repertoire with her that he might have, like, an alternate form of just, like, she just helps him out most of the time, and then he fights him every now and then, maybe.
Yeah, because it wouldn't make logistical sense for him to have to fight her. After he's beaten them once, like, what's the point of having him fight them again?
I guess he could be, like, a benchmark. He's like, oh, you haven't been in a while. Let's see how much tougher they are.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a theory.
Yeah.
Again.
I like that we go from Tao, which makes sense, Tao being the awful person who kills his tailor instead of paying him, to Yamcha giving a tip to the tailor that fixes Goku's stuff to do it faster. Which is something that's kind of crazy because, like, again, going back to Tao, him being his own undoing. I bet with the amount of money he makes, he could have given that guy extra money and probably got it done faster.
Probably got done 15 minutes. The man would have broke physics getting that thing done.
Yeah, he'd
for
called
an extra price. But it also goes back to Tao being an awful person and a greedy person.
Mm-hmm.
Where he's just not going to give...
But going back into that, like, him deciding, like, to not do that and not being nice enough to tip ahead of time, being like, you know, giving the taxi cab driver an extra 20 to get there fast type of thing.
Yeah.
That ends up being his undoing. Because if he had just paid the guy and gotten it done in like 15 minutes, when he calls Red and Red tells him, "Hey, Goku's not dead. He can go back before Goku even goes up the tower to kill him again." Yeah, and it would be over. Like it just knowing now that like
it's a domino effect.
Yeah, all those dominoes falling down. Like
every choice leads you down a path, and for this, it just led Tao down a path of
dying. Question mark.
I think it's implied that he got like obliterated in an explosion from his own grenade.
Yeah.
Because remember, he explodes in the grenade.
Yeah, I did like that Goku going back to get Upa was a nice nice touch.
I'm spoiling it. That's probably gonna be my best part.
Yeah,
because it's such a wholesome.
Because Goku's like, he's probably lonely. We should go get him. Like
just because it's such a great way to show yet again like how much Goku cares for the people around him. He's like, you know what? That like 5-year-old child in the woods probably needs someone to like be with him.
Yeah, he probably doesn't want to be alone this whole time.
Especially next to the burial mound, holding the dead body of his father.
Yeah, that's like, probably not the best mental space for this kid to be in. Let's go help him out. Let's go have him fight a vampire.
You got chew on this guy, like breathe on him.
I did like that also that Goku gave out the sage wisdom too, where he gives him the the wisdom of like Upa says like, I'm scared of leaving. This is scary, and Goku being like, new things are scary, but it's gonna be okay.
And also like leaving your dad alone, it's not that big of a deal because next time we see him, he'll not be dead.
Yeah, he won't be mad at you because you brought him back. You helped kill the vampire guy, so that he can bring him back.
I also love old vampire lore.
Yeah.
Him falling in that water, it would be devastating.
Yeah, I don't know why they didn't just decide to throw rice out on the ground.
I guess technically, it's not. It's still water.
Yeah.
So technically, it's running water with vampires.
Mm.
Yeah, I guess
we don't know if it's the water there is running or not. So
well, it's implied. It's a lake. Yeah, you could have also like if he goes off of really old logic, could have gotten like a bag of rice and just thrown it out of the arena. Told him to go pick it up. I love that one. And then as he's picking it up, you just push him in the water.
Yeah. But then we get to my favorite joke of the episode, which is a joke in our current day. Krillin assuming the gender of Upa.
Yeah.
What's funny, it's like, oh my gosh, Krillin, did you just assume his gender? Which is just, it's funny because, like, in the moment, that's definitely not the joke they're going for. The joke is, like, Krillin is, like, confused because Upa is kind of non-binary in the way he's drawn, because Native Americans have longer hair, you can sometimes, we've heard those jokes for forever. One of your friends that you played soccer with would get called girly all the time, like, it's just because they wear their hair long. Like, it doesn't make them any less manly, but like those jokes went around a lot.
Cultural thing.
Yeah, those jokes went around.
But it's also the fact that Upa is also like
kind
6.
of, and also has a high squeaky voice.
Because
probably played by a female voice actress, if I had to guess.
Yeah.
Like, but it is just kind of funny that Krillin's like, "Hey, girl, you're real cute.
You smoking?"
And then Goku's like, "That's a boy," and Krillin's like, "Oh no." I'm confused now.
Pretend I didn't say anything.
Yeah. I then when they're flying to Baba, that storm they fly through. Do you think there's anything weird about that? I took it as like it's a mystical, magical storm protecting her area.
That's what
the
I
first
took it as
trial,
too, yeah.
like to stave off those people who aren't who aren't in it enough,
who definitely don't have the money and definitely can't beat it, like the fighters in the fight.
Yeah,
it's like just stop wasting my time. That's exactly what I took it as.
Yeah, because even like the thunder, the lightning was different.
But the other thing is right before that. That's when Roshi starts to like kind of reveal like that's like around the time that Roshi revealed like, oh, maybe I should have told him everything. As they hit that, and it's like. That's when it's like it's starting to allude like, oh, that's what's weird with her. She has this big protective energy around her, and then it's like one of those like a pump fake on. He's like, oh, that's what you think it is.
Yeah.
It's not that.
No, it's the fact that if you don't have you're not trillionaires, you can't just ask,
Yeah,
because
right.
the first group of people we see leaving, because we see like the group of fighters and they're like, oh man, I wonder what's going on here, and then like these two rich people being like, oh, it's nice to know, basically like it's nice that we know where her like tiara went, because if it wasn't, if we like now she can be invited to the fancy preppy stuff because she found her tiara, which was in between the couch cushions,
which is literally kind of the joke I made.
Yeah.
About Roshi trying to find his remote.
Yeah, it's literally them finding the trillionaire version of a remote.
Yeah.
And so then, we see the group of fighters who all look real tough. Obviously, they're not very tough because they immediately get like all beaten within like 5 seconds of walking in the arena.
They're not. You know how you can tell that someone's not very tough?
They pretend to be tough.
In Dragon Ball, is not only do they pretend to be tough, but they just like are the most nondescript tough guys ever of all time.
Yeah.
They never. If you don't get a name, they're gonna get beat in the next 5 seconds.
Yeah. And that's kind of where we leave the episode. As they meet Fortuneteller Baba. She tells them like the two choices: either pay me a lot of money or fight my 5 fighters, and then I'll tell you for free. And that's kind of where the first episode leaves off. Is right there. We kind of assume they're going to pick the fight because they don't have the money, but that they don't really tell us that. And then we go into her like tournament arena area that she has set up.
I do also want to point out the funny thing that I noticed about like in the last episode we recorded. I was making jokes about Baba Yaga's name.
Yeah,
and then Goku's just doing it, but with the fortune yeller.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I thought that was good.
And that reminds me of in the Dragon Ball Abridged, how Goku cannot pronounce Bulma's name right. Calls her like Bola, and then Bolka and Parka, and
it's like, so funny.
Yeah, anytime somebody like it's the whole Dionysus and Percy Jackson calling him Peter Johnson. Anytime somebody knows the name and purposely messes it up, it's just a little funny. It's one that scratches the brain in a good way for me.
Those are fun. They can go too long very quickly.
But that's what I like about the Dionysus one, is that it sets up later on where he does call him Percy Jackson, and then Percy's like, wait, did you just call me Percy? He's like, no, Peter, I didn't call you that name, your name's Peter. But like he at one point, it's like towards the end, and there's like, oh, we're really up against some tough stuff here, buddy, we really need your help, Percy. And he's like, did you call me Percy? He's like, whatever you say, Peter, just go. But yeah, that gives jumping back onto track, the second episode, we immediately see one of the weirdest fighters we've seen so far. Fangs, the vampire, who's dressed up like Mike Tyson Punch-Out character, but vampire.
I also love like the animation, how they made him look pale in the animation. Was just like making him like a bluish character. Kind of looks like Emperor Pilaf, but a little paler.
Yeah, blue, like a blue-gray almost. Yeah.
Which I guess at that point in time is probably the best you could do.
Yeah. And so he's doing like these weird poses and dance moves, and Krillin's like, psh, I got this.
Dude, you're so weird.
Look at this guy. He's just being weird. I can handle this. And Krillin cannot handle it. Unfortunately, Krillin's now fighting record is on-screen fight record is not looking great. Yeah. He's lost to Goku on a multitude of occasions. We don't know how many people he beat at the World Martial Arts, but we do see at least one like full knockout from him, and then he beats and then 2 counting the smelly guy. I can't think of his name now. The smelly guy. I can't think of it. Bacterian. He beats Bacterian and the one random Orin Temple guy. So those are 2 wins and 2 losses to Goku, and then he loses to Blue, and then he loses to Fangs.
He also lost to Jackie Chun's last Roshi.
And he also lost to Jackie Chun, so he's set at 2-5 on his all-time record.
I'm sure there might be some stuff we're missing. Like, and the funny part about it is like, it's purely because of his own hubris.
Yeah.
Like I have that written down. Like him and Yamcha, so confident. I'm like, you guys have you guys not learned anything about this universe? Is never get cocky, because it will punch you in the stomach. It will cripple you.
And one thing I enjoyed was in between episodes, between the first episode and the second episode, Jesse and I kind of like talked to each other, and we're like, I wonder what like the lineup, how the order of operations is gonna go. Because like obviously they're gonna put Puar and Upa at the end because they're not gonna want to fight. They're gonna be behind Goku. But does Goku go first? Does Krillin go first? Does Yamcha? I think you said Yamcha and then Krillin was the order that before the episode.
But I knew it'd be Krillin and Yamcha first. I just didn't know what order they would be in.
Yeah.
Purely just because they'd been super overconfident that they were both going to wipe the floor. Goku was not going to be necessary.
Yeah.
And they both also were talking about like, we need training. This is a great time for them to get that training.
Yeah.
Is to fight some like random fighters that they have no preparation time for.
Yeah. And I do love like the thought process of like when you're watching this show metatextually of like Goku's not going to go first because Goku would solve the problem immediately. So we got to make him wait his turn a little bit so that way we can have the other characters do things. But one thing neither one of us thought, which I knew it came, but like I threw out there like maybe they'll throw Puar and Upa at them first just to weaken them down. And even though Krillin does go first, Puar and Upar. Upa and Puar go out there and they actually do they end up winning against Fangs.
They win because they got
Krillin's awesome strategy.
Yeah, because they got garlic. And they breathed it on the vampire.
I will say, even though Krillin has not been handling this well, like he didn't win his match, he lost pretty badly. The fact, like, I don't even think he lands a punch on Fangs. Like, Fangs toys with him and then punches him a bunch and then turns into a bat and then bites him. Turns back into Fangs and then bites him. So, like, Krillin didn't even land a punch. But his strategy, on the other hand, might be goated because he sends Goku to go get Roshi and Bulma, which I don't think that plan has been fully shown off yet. But he's able to tell Puar and Upa to, like, shh. Let Yamcha cook and listen.
Yeah, like, be quiet. Yeah, because the episode leaves off with Goku rushing out in the distance and Yamcha starting to hear the footprints of the invisible guy.
Yeah, which is like the only way you can probably beat this guy is just tie your eyes closed so you're listening. You know, you're heightening your other senses.
Quiet your senses to listen.
Hyper focus one of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love the garlic trick. I thought that was fun. Like,
I kind of had a feeling they're going to do something vampire.
They had to, because he's a vampire, they have to do something vampire-y to get the vampire gone. And then Jesse pointed out Puar transforming into the hamburger helper mascot.
Yeah. Puar Burger Helper.
Yeah. And it really is just like the giant mitt of it.
Yeah, just to smack him into the water.
And that's, they beat the first one. And then Yamcha jumps up because like Puar and Upa are like, we won one match. That's two more than we were expected to win. We are bowing out gracefully now. And so Yamcha's like, well, I'm the grown up in this group. I can handle this. I'm a teenager, not a kid. I can win this fight.
And then he gets put up against like the character that Goku could easily be.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, Goku could easily beat all these characters. But of all the characters, in the last 15 minutes, 15 minutes. 15 10 to 15 episodes of training that Goku has gone through.
Yeah.
The most recent Goku training arc that we just finished up was teaching him how to fight without just focusing on seeing, predicting things and stuff.
Yeah, and one of the other,
listening and feeling for the energies that are coming off.
Yeah, he'd be able to be the Invisible Man. He's also impenetrable, so things would bite his head and his teeth would break off.
Yeah,
crunch.
Did you hit yourself?
No, I was saying crunch ow is what the noise would be. That Fangs would be like crunch ow as his teeth. I can see the animation of the teeth just disintegrating in his mouth.
I was thinking shatter or disintegrated. Oh, he bites down. He pulls up. Teeth just shatter.
Yeah, they just shatter like glass, and then he gums out I can see it immediately. That's from every other show we've ever watched before. It's exactly what would happen. So yeah, Goku would already be 2-0. We would be an episode in, and Goku would already be on the third fighter.
To be fair, he would have probably beaten him so quickly. We'd probably be on the third fighter already and getting ready to go to the fourth.
Yeah, because Goku at this point it's fun because we get to see the other characters do things first, but we know how these things are going to end.
Yeah,
is that they'll get one or two good licks in, and then Goku will step in and drop the nuke.
Yeah. It's like, you've activated my trap card. Goku, the strongest person on the known planet.
Yeah. Goku, get out here! Come on.
He might only be like a kid, but he will beat anyone on the planet.
Yeah.
Did you know this boy drunk the sacred water in 3 days?
You know this guy beat up the whole Red Ribbon Army all by himself
In like 2 hours.
in an afternoon, just because he felt like it.
Took a day trip down to their base and just wiped the floor with him.
You know, this guy also beat Blue. This guy also beat White. He also beat Silver. You think he's worried about anything?
This guy's got 2 weaknesses: food and cold.
And guess what? This is the desert, and we gave him a lot of food before we left.
We packed 17 million ham sandwiches.
So I guess he's invulnerable now, huh?
This man learned how to do a Kamehameha wave in 30 seconds.
You know what? I might not be able to beat you, but my little kid friend can.
Yeah. Why don't you become someone your own skill level?
Yeah.
Wait a second, that's not Goku. He's above your skill.
Yeah. Yeah. You're real. Oh, it's like when Mark Ruffalo pops the Bruce Banner pops the Hulkbuster lid in the Avengers Endgame or
You guys
Infinity War.
are so screwed.
When Thor shows up, he's like, "Oh, you're screwed now." That's what it feels like. It's like Goku's just waiting in the wings to do this.
It's the reverse of getting your bigger brother to like beat up your bullies. It's like,
Yeah.
Don't make me get my little brother.
Yeah, the big brother's like, "Ow, that hurt. Don't make me get him."
He's adopted, but he's adopted from space.
Yeah.
Anyways, we've done that bit enough.
Yeah, that we kind of ran that one into the ground there. But it was nice to it's nice to know that like nothing. This doesn't feel like the end of the world in any level.
It's a nice reprieve from all of the seriousness that's happened the last like 8 episodes.
Yeah, because like Commander Red and all that stuff was pretty serious.
Like everything
Goku had to lock in.
Everything dealing with Tao and having to go up the tower. And
Yeah, and
like
Bora died like 6 episodes ago.
Yeah. It's been a pretty intense last couple of weeks on the podcast as well.
Yeah,
I guess is a great way to measure it.
Yeah, and giving like a relief to like even if they all lose, like they're not gonna die to these people. Like even if Goku loses somehow, like she has a person stronger than Goku, it's not a fight to the death. It's not a fight to the death. It's not a fight with the world at stake.
I mean, if you even look
like we've brought up, worst comes to worst, the animal poops it out and then they can find it. You know.
Yeah, but going back to like how this is no one's in danger of being killed in these fights. When Krillin gets his blood drained from him, they have a blood transfusion bag just sitting there ready to plug into him.
Yeah, they know what they're dealing with here. Like Fortuneteller Baba's not trying to kill her clientele. She's like, "Yeah, you guys can come back later. I'm gonna make sure this guy's
you
okay."
made it all the way here. I want you to I want to eventually find your thing.
Yeah.
Maybe if you can't win, you just go scrounge together enough money to pay me.
Yeah. And so why would I do all of this other stuff, you know? And so, yeah, do you have any other notes you want to bring up before we start jumping further ahead?
No, I think we're kind of on to, like, the very end with the invisible guy.
Yeah. And
a little bit more. We'll talk a little more.
Yeah. And I don't really have a whole lot to say about the invisible guy, except for that, like, that's obviously going to be a tough fight, even if Yamcha is able to lock in. Like, I think Yamcha can win the fight, because, like, being invisible isn't, like, doesn't mean he's invulnerable. It just means he's knowing how this trope goes, a really formidable invisible opponent is like a glass cannon, where it's like he's punching you a lot because you can't see him, but as soon as you land one on him, he's probably going to break into a million pieces and scream on the ground.
Again, if your main power is being invisible, most of the time now, we get into talking about The Boys, which is a way more mature series.
Yeah,
their invisible guy had like titanium skin or whatever that made him invisible, which also made him invulnerable on the outside on the shell. They figure out how to do him very quickly in that show.
But
let's not go too far into that show. That show is not G-rated.
But outside of that, most of the time, if you're an invisible character, you're also a glass jaw.
Like every other invisible character you've ever known, unless they had like a training arc because they were the main character.
Yeah.
They're invisible, and they like going invisible and using invisibility because it means they don't get punched.
Yeah. And so, knowing, like, not to give you a lead on your predictions, but if I were to predict something about an invisible fight in anything, it's going to be they land one punch and the invisible person
one
comes
or two
visible.
punches.
The invisible person becomes visible and is like crying to mama. Is what the next thing is going to happen. It's going to be like when you hear like a kid stub their toe and then just like
I do like his name because we have the subtitles on so we can see the name when he's talking.
Yeah.
And his name is See Through, which I thought was pretty funny.
Yeah, that's pretty good. See through fangs so far. It's like they're kind of just naming like what they are, like what.
And
they
again,
do.
when it was revealed that it was an invisible guy, I didn't know it I didn't feel it in the moment. But again, as we were sitting here getting the podcast equipment hooked up, that's when it kind of dawned on me. I'm like, well, that's two of the legendary, like the Universal like monster flicks. I was like,
yeah.
So there's the other three. Oh, you got the Creature of the Black Lagoon. You got Wolfman. You got Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Boom, there you go.
Yeah.
That's my prediction for the next three fighters.
And so going into
some variation of that.
Going into the next two episodes, then Jesse, there's the episode. Well, actually, first predictions from this last week, or from these episodes. We are going to hear about / find Fortune Teller Baba. That does happen. That is correct.
That was my 1 for 1. That was my. I'm shooting other blanks, but I got that one.
They fixed the radar. No, because the radar wasn't broken. It's just not working right now.
Yeah.
But there's nothing to fix. The Spirit Guardians are around the final ball. I don't really think I'd call these guys Spirit Guardians, Jesse.
No, and also they're not around the final ball.
Yeah, because we don't know where that's at still.
I was way too confident that like Baba Yaga was going to just be like a one-off thing.
And Fortune Teller Baba has the ball. That is not correct. So, Jesse, episode 71's name is Deadly Battle. Episode 72's name is Goku's Turn. What do you think is going to happen?
Well, I think Yamcha is going to beat the invisible guy.
Okay.
I'm gonna stick to it.
The invisible guy.
Yeah, See Through.
Okay.
But in doing so, he tires himself out a lot. In the next fight, he gets knocked out pretty quickly. And then Goku steps in and like wins in starts beating the bad guys. Okay. Beating the bad guys in air quotes up.
Yeah. Yamcha wears himself down to the point he loses, and then Goku steps in.
And then my like extra one is the prediction I made about it being the Universal monsters.
The fighters are all Universal monsters.
Like monster references.
Okay. Universal monster references. Well, Jesse, I think you've already nailed one of your predictions of the arc of the saga. Of the arc saga.
Oh, actually,
you said they're going to meet a fortune teller named Baba as one of your predictions for the saga.
Yeah.
And guess what, Jesse? They met a fortune teller named Baba.
I will also state the possible other Universal monsters it could be, because we got Dracula, vampire.
Yeah.
We've got the Invisible Man, which we're fighting now. It could be any combination of Frankenstein's monster, the mummy, the Wolfman, or the creature from the Black Lagoon.
Okay.
Which, with it being surrounded by water, I would probably lean towards Black Lagoon. Wolfman, maybe mummy, because Frankenstein's monster is kind of just like a zombie.
And we've already had Ader, who's like a reference to Frankenstein's monster.
So
you'd been saying Frankenstein a bunch, and I was like, I don't think Jesse remembers that we did just have Ader. Like, and I know Ader's not Frankenstein's monster.
I forgot the mummy was one.
Yeah.
So I was just going off of there's only 5, so it has to be Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably going to be Mummy, Wolfman, and Creature of the Black Lagoon. If I'm right, if I'm wrong, I'd be very surprised, and it's just a really funny coincidence.
Yeah.
But it just feels too close.
Yeah, I've definitely feel that.
Because I think if you go in release order, so we skipped the Mummy in release order, because the Mummy came out after Frankenstein. Dracula was first, then Frank, Mummy, Invisible Man, Bride of Frank, and then Wolfman.
Yeah.
And then the Black Lagoon is like kind of just randomly thrown in there somewhere.
Yeah. So, with that, Jesse, I guess the next step is knowing what your predictions are for next week is going to be what was your worst part of the episode.
just kind of the really, because there's nothing in here that I objectively hate, other than just wasting another 2-ish minutes of the first episode of episode 69 with like a super overly long recap of beating the Red Ribbon Army.
Yeah, and I was gonna, if you took that, I was gonna go with Goku's naked scene.
Yeah, the naked scene's kind of tough.
Because that's not, but it's, normally Goku is naked and then they say, put some clothes on, he puts some clothes on. This one, they're like, oh, Goku, what are you doing? Oh, Goku, come on, man. Yeah, this is embarrassing, Goku.
They play it up a little longer than they probably should.
And then
it's still funny, like, you're still laughing about it.
Yeah. But it wears a little bit thin for me.
But it lasts probably an extra 20 seconds more than it needed to.
Yeah. And so, then, Jesse, you already kind of said what your best part was going to be.
I love Upa and Goku getting back together. Like, just such a hardcore, genuine friendship that they have built up in just probably, at this point, 3 or 4, maybe 5 days of knowing each other.
Maximum 5 days.
Maximum, not even a full week of knowing each other. But they already have a feel of like lifelong friends.
It's like what they say about male friendships, where it's like you either like you've been friends for like 25 years, or you've been through some crap together. You know.
Yeah, you've been friends for 25 years, or you both blacked out at a bar 6 years ago
and woke up in Russia.
Woke up in prison or something.
Yeah,
and you bonded.
Brothers for life.
Yeah, you prison broed it.
Yeah. Yeah, so I guess my best part is probably going to be the Goku Sage Wisdom on that flight back. Because, I mean, I like some of the other stuff. Honorable mention to the way they beat Fangs. I found that to be fun. Yeah, the way they beat Fangs.
The entire Fangs sequence is really fun.
Yeah. I can't give it to Krillin. That made me sad. I would love to give Krillin props, but he did just get punked.
He did just get just sucked dry by a vampire.
Yeah. So then, Jesse, with all that out of the way, I would like to say thank you guys for watching and listening, or not really watching, but listening to us wherever you listen to us. I would hope that you guys are downloading, subscribing, rating, reviewing, liking us on YouTube, commenting on our stuff, however which way you want to do it. Remember, you can follow us at Becoming Saiyans Pod on Twitter, on Instagram, on YouTube, and on TikTok. You can also send us an email at becomingsaiyans@gmail.com, where you can give us any advice on if we're doing anything you don't like, anything you think we could do to make the podcast a little bit better.
Even if you think we're doo-doo heads.
Yeah.
We'll take that.
Yeah, we'd just like to hear from you guys. So, until next week, Jesse, I've been Truman.
And I've been Jesse.
And the journey continues.
Bye.